Hi, I'm Kiana Miner. Welcome to the Crazy Courage webinar where we are busting success myths and learning to live more courageously. Today, I'm so excited. We have with us today Faith Rivera. Faith is an amazing singer and songwriter. She's actually an Emmy Award winning singer and songwriter. Her songs have been used for shows like Hawaii Five-O and ER. She's also supported best-selling authors like Marianne Williamson and Jack Canfield. She dares the world to be the everyday superstars that we are born to be. And I just love that because I feel like that's what this webinar is all about. Just having that crazy courage to be ourselves and be authentic. So welcome, Faith.
Thank you. I'm so excited to be here with you and all the awesome listeners, all the everyday superstars out there.
I'm so awesome to have you here. So Faith, it's so funny. I was listening to a collection of your songs that I have in a playlist. And
Mm-hmm.
the song Believe came up. And I had no idea that that was recorded in 2001. Your music is, like, it speaks to me so much now, and your music is so timeless. Do you hear that a lot?
I do, because I have my own relationships with those songs, right? Like when I really needed it, and I grow through it. But like you said, if it can touch people years later, and that time of when I recorded it almost is not mine anymore. You know what I mean? Like you had your own relationship with that song, so.
Hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. I just had the silly thought of songs are they don't marry anyone. They date.
Oh,
You know what I mean? Like they
right,
give
right.
love to everybody.
Right, right. Yeah, you're so right because we all attach sort of our own experiences to the
Yeah.
song. So yeah, I think you're totally right. Do a lot of your songs come from your personal experiences?
Yeah, certainly. You were talking about crazy courage, and as I was thinking about your topic, I looked at my songs like "Believe," "Don't Let the Music Die," all these like rah 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 cheerleading songs, and they really came from a place of I needed to hear them, and I used them to replace those old tapes in my mind. Because, a belief is, what do they say, a thought you just keep thinking. And
Hmm.
thank God with this song and the feeling factor, right, of how it can make you feel, it can get you that much, I don't want to say quicker, but just deeper to knowing what is the truth. And so those songs, yes, I wrote them for me, and it's just added bonus that they can help everybody
Right.
else, you
Right.
know?
Oh, that's
So.
awesome. And what about singing? Have you been singing all your life?
I've been singing since the sixth grade and really playing piano since the first grade. And your conference, this topic you're passionate about really means a lot to me because when I thought back to my childhood, oh
Hmm.
girl, I wish I could tell you I had fun doing music, that
Right.
I had this joy. It is something I've had to learn, and you know. I could say that I had many moments of crazy courage. Every time I went on that
Right.
stage to play piano, sing, I was terrified. I was panicked, and so that's why I'm really passionate about the work you're doing, and that on the other side of that bridge is the fun and the joy.
Okay.
But thank God, courage pushed my butt
Oh,
across the bridge. You're right. I mean,
right. It's true.
yeah,
Yeah, it's
yeah.
so true.
It really pushed me to. Yeah.
Okay. When you would get up on, I mean, you talk about not really having the courage or, feeling fearful to get up on stage or to perform your music. What
Yes.
what brought that courage about? How were you able to do it? Did you just leap or were you kind of pumping yourself up in your head? Like what? Tell us about that process.
Okay. Well, I think as a kid, that's different because I think when
Right.
you're a kid, you're just kind of going with you're just trusting the adults who shoo you on the stage, even though you're panicked. So I don't know that I had a choice. Courage just
Right.
had to kick in.
Okay.
Okay, but as I got older and I could make a choice,
Mhm.
yeah, I would work. Um, I would work different thoughts like before I went on the stage. Everything from like I'm gonna be of service. Let me be of service to let something flow through me. And the one that has stuck for me that has really worked is how can I have the most fun? How can like it had to start with me first for it to make a real connection. I had to find the joy, the love, the whatever it was in the song. It had to be real for me first, and so that I think is what would get me on that stage,
Okay.
and then secondly, I would say, and I don't know if your story and other people's stories have this, but really there was a conspiracy from the universe, seriously, that I couldn't not do the thing. I tried to quit piano. Everyone quit piano. I took from first grade. Everyone got to quit. And by the time I was 8th grade, I thought, well, dang it, I'm going to quit.
Right.
And when I said I'm going to quit, I got called into the principal's office, and she said in no way was I going to be able to quit. So there've been key moments where literally I've tried to give up. And whether you call it courage or some other conspiracy, don't you find that? Like, sometimes, you just are, courage comes, but then there's other factors that keep you going.
I totally agree with you. I do feel like sometimes, something, a coincidence, even though I don't really believe in coincidences.
Yeah. So, it's not, it was planned. Yeah.
Totally.
By somebody.
And at the time you're thinking, oh, goodness, like I want to get away from this. But a little later when you have that retrospect, you're like, well, thank God that happened for me in that way, Yes.
Yeah. I mean, I have to share with you this one key story of when I thought I'd given up on my music. Even though I did it my whole life, I was accepted to Berklee College of Music, okay?
Oh, okay.
Chickened out of it. I was in Hawaii. Yeah, and I had an all-girls band. I had a manager. I had a single. It's not like I wasn't doing music. And I thought, I can't do it. Mm-hmm. So I became whatever, communications major in Northern California.
I did communications too.
Yeah. What?
Yeah. I said I did communications too.
Oh, see? Okay.
Yeah, awesome. Go ahead.
And you're using it. Sophomore year, I thought, I'm going to write a nice song for the talent show. Totally not conscious. This song was called Don't Let the Music Die. Okay? So I'm singing this song about my dream coming true of music, totally unattached, thinking, what a pretty song. And the words are like, can you hear the little voice calling you? Okay, so anyway.
You wrote it. Right.
I wrote it. But I don't get it until the last words in the song are like, this moment is mine. And then the whole theater, they stand up and they're cheering, and the people in the front row, they're crying. And just what you said, my moment was there. And my first thought was, I have to get away. I still wanted to run away. But thank God that was such a dramatic example or a sign to me that's when Crazy Courage kicked in. I said, okay, I cannot ignore that 2x4, that spiritual 2x4 to my head. And then that's when I pursued my music degree and came to Long Beach and, unfolded from there. So I know what you mean about wanting to run away.
Right. And I think that's so true. I love that you say, like in that moment you wanted to run away, because I find myself, even now, sometimes it creeps up, but I feel like I've gotten better at it. But when joy becomes just so like, it's such a powerful emotion that sometimes it feels overwhelming. You know what I mean? Like it feels like, oh wait. And you would think that we would naturally gravitate toward happiness.
I know.
I don't know why we don't do that.
I think it hits our limit of our up to that point of what we think maybe how good it can get or what we're worth. And then but that's what's great about our journey is that I think we're always expanding of like, oh, there's more. I can have that or be this, or like you said, I can be in my joy and love what I do and get paid.
Right.
What the heck? And there's more.
Right.
So,
That is awesome. I love that story. Now, would you say that is one of your most courageous moments?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. That was it, because, my family was all away in Hawaii, and my husband now, who's my boyfriend then, I had to leave him and really had to come all by myself. It doesn't sound as dramatic to me now, but back then, that's huge.
That is huge.
I feel like Dorothy entering some other planet, so, so that was a moment, the moment of crazy courage.
Okay, that's awesome. Did you find after that moment you still kind of had to talk yourself into it? Like, was it a
Yes!
process? Okay.
Yes. Okay. Yes. Years and years. Because I tried to, you'll laugh, I gave up again after college.
Oh, really?
For a few months. Okay. Yeah, well, here's the funny thing is I love that I got to learn about opera and classical music and all that kind of stuff. But I kind of lost like my R&B soul groove and whatever. You get rejected a lot when you audition, and I thought, I can't do this. And yet again, I found myself, I was a file clerk at a nutritional laboratory.
Wow.
But I'm a go-getter, so I became like the assistant to the vice president. And anyway, I was overlooking this picnic I had made for all the employees of 100-something degrees. And I just thought, my life, I think my life's supposed to look different.
Wow.
So, so yes, it had been an ongoing thing,
Mhm.
even when I was touring,
Okay.
traveling, when my career picked up and I was getting on planes. So
Mhm.
it's about changing my beliefs at every point.
Okay.
I would be like, how can I think about this so I can feel better, really?
Mhm. Mhm.
So, yeah, because I would get afraid sometimes to even get on the planes. And so I
Wow.
changed that 360. I was like,
Right.
I would go into the airports,
Mhm.
and instead of focusing on like, oh, I'm afraid, boo, I would consciously be like, oh, I'm going to be like this presence of calm. Because, airport is usually not calm.
Yeah, of course.
So I
Mhm.
almost felt like the touch by the angel girl where you just feel like you're like sprinkling your whatever. So, so yes, I do anything and everything to
Okay.
get myself in another space.
Okay, that's awesome. I love to hear that you quit. You know what I mean? I love
I did.
because I
Thank you.
think like
You're welcome.
I think like there's this myth that people who have achieved the level of success that you've achieved don't quit or they're not afraid, you know what I mean? And they
Yeah,
haven't had to talk themselves back into getting back into the game, you
yeah.
know? So I love that. And I think it's so funny that you actually became successful at this job that wasn't even like you were such a go-getter that you started to rise in this job that didn't feel right for you. Yeah. Was
Yeah.
it hard for you to walk away from it?
No,
You said
no,
no.
no,
Okay.
no. Yeah,
Okay.
I don't know what else to say. Yeah, and because I think, I could do a lot of things.
Right.
I don't know. Maybe I'm just naturally, whatever. Not to be boastful, but
No,
I
no,
can have fun
absolutely.
anywhere. But I knew it wasn't my thing. It
Okay.
wasn't my brilliance. It wasn't like my unique gift that I was supposed to,
Okay.
give or share or do. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you
Yeah,
mean.
yeah,
Definitely know what you
yeah,
mean.
yeah.
So you mentioned kind of affirmations, like talking yourself into. Can you hear me okay?
Yes,
Okay, talking yourself into getting on the plane or getting on the stage.
yes.
So it sounds like affirmations are important to you. Are there any other tools that you use to kind of build that inner balance or inner courage?
Well, taking the idea of affirmations, one more step, really, again, back to the songs, right?
Mhm.
Songs like Don't Let the Music Die, Believe. I mean, I have titles like I'm Beautiful, Let It Out.
Right.
Um, there's power in them, not only because of the lyrics, but I think it's the feeling factor. Like,
Mm.
it almost, I mean, the lyrics are great, but when you can tap into that, when you get a moment of what's possible, you know what I mean,
Right.
where the fear isn't clouding it,
Right.
and almost where crazy courage is not even present because you're just so in it, right? And it feels
Right.
good.
Mhm.
Um, that's really the resource I've used a lot is music, and not only that, creating the space, like I said. And I know it sounds a little vague, but it's about taking that conscious moment or breath to be like, okay, let's stop.
Right.
Whatever this fear or whatever I'm in,
Mhm.
what's another way to look at this? And so because I found that moment for me, I've created these sing, dance, shine, play shops
Okay.
where I've shared, and anyone can do this. You don't have to take my play shop, but the idea is through fun and play and singing and dancing and kind of just expressing with boldness and
Okay.
freedom, that again, people, when you can touch a space of what's possible, that
Mm.
joy and love, it changes everything. And it's not like, you won't go cold turkey, I think, like No More Fear, but it will give you a place to go. You'll be like, I know how I felt, right? And then when you play your song or
Mhm.
put on that dress, whatever those things are that you do that get you to that feeling point,
Right.
it's golden. So
Okay.
those are some
Okay.
of the resources I've had. And of course, having mentors,
Oh
talking to other
yeah.
artists,
Okay.
kind of like what you're doing. You're asking everybody, like, what do
Right.
you do?
What do you?
So,
Definitely.
yeah, so those are a few
That's
ideas.
awesome. It's so funny when I looked at my schedule of, when all the interviews are going to release, I noticed I have a lot of musicians on
Oh,
here. And that I didn't even do that on
see?
purpose, but I think that the music, like along the way, the music has been so important to me because it allows you to kind of get into that space in a very fun way, you know?
Yes,
So
yes.
you talked a little bit about it, but can you talk a little bit more about why fun is important? Because I feel like that's a word that's,
Ah,
missing so much from our lives when we are fearful.
yes, yes. Okay. fun.
Yes.
Because it bypasses everything. You know how, okay, we can go to therapy, we can do our shadow work, we can write stuff down till we're blue in the face.
All intense. Yeah.
Yes, but all of our life, everything that we do, I believe, we're reaching for that feeling.
Okay.
So you know what? There's instant success when you can make that connection. That's why fun is so important. That's the most important thing in my life. Because fun can be like laughy, loud fun. It could be like a deep joy.
Okay.
But you feel something and it transcends the logical part when we try to figure it out. I think it's the fastest route to whatever you want to call it, enlightenment,
Right.
to your happiest life.
Okay.
And I think in that fun and in that joy where fear and thoughts and judgments don't cloud you, that's where your brilliance emerges from.
Okay.
In that pure space of like,
Right.
right? And because when you're in fun and joy, you're not thinking of the reasons why you're there. You're not thinking how fun or how, your mind is out of it.
Okay.
You're just fully being. I don't know.
I think that's a great answer. Yeah. I think that's a great answer, and I agree with you because I have a 9-month-old and a 2.5-year-old.
Oh my gosh, you're awesome.
Yeah. So even when I get into this tense mode of, oh, we have to be here at this time or we have to do this right now, they will remind me that, no, we're going to do it in a fun way.
Oh.
And it's,
Go ahead. Sorry.
no, I was going to say it's so refreshing to be reminded of, those simple pleasures in life. Yeah.
Well, and I think you can relate to it because you're a mom. I mean, is that I've been doing my best to go with that flow, and it has meant that sometimes he goes on the road with me when he was younger.
Okay.
And another time I'm like, we'll do I do an online concert every month, like a free concert on YouTube. So one time I thought, oh, my husband and Kai would be on it. He's my 3-year-old.
Okay.
Oh my gosh, there's some of that video where like my husband's all by himself like talking to the camera because I'm like, you hear my son crying in the background, and it kind of just makes everything, I don't know, less serious. You're just like, oh well,
Right.
got to diaper, okay.
You certainly learn how to go with the flow, and I love that. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it balances everything out because then you're changing a diaper and then you're like, oh wait, I'm going to go coach someone now and maybe impact someone's life.
Right.
And it's like, that is fun.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I'm totally there with you.
Yeah.
Oh, so you do coaching?
Say again?
I said, so you do coaching?
Well, I wouldn't say I do it a lot.
Oh.
See, it's probably a thing I need crazy courage for. I've been told I should do it more.
Okay.
So thank you for asking me. Yes, I've had a few, in-person coaching, especially when I tour,
Okay.
and then Skype sessions as well.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah, I do. Artists, and especially, I'm passionate about, one, the fun factor and the joy, but also breaking that myth of, starving artists. No.
Okay. I love, that's perfect. Can we follow that? Can we go a little deeper into that? Talk about like that starving artist myth?
Yes. Well, again, it's the belief what we've been raised with, right? And everything from like starving artists to even like what you're doing now, that can a mom have a thriving business? Can an artist make music, have fun, and make money? And I say yes.
Right. No,
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, life to me, when you like look at the plants and all of life keeps evolving, I think we're meant to thrive.
Okay.
We're meant to thrive. And so I had to work on that, those ideas, even the ideas of service. What does service mean? Is it service at your expense?
Right. Oh,
Or is it service from your overflow?
Okay.
From the overflow of feeding yourself. I don't know. What else do I tell my artist friends? I think, Daniel Namod is another New Thought positive music artist, and he really helped me to see that the value of the music itself, and that because there was a time, I don't know if you do tithing, where you tithe to places you're inspired, but at a certain time when I first started, I was tithing every single center or where I performed 20%, like without thinking, and I thought, oh, it's so great, and he was like, why are you tithing? Are you tithing them because you're just so grateful they're letting you play? Like it was out of this like, oh my God, thank you for like letting me do it. And he goes, you know what? You are a blessing. You are gifting them. And I was like, whoa. And so he just changed it up for me and he didn't tell me not to tithe. He just said, stop and think why. And you can tithe to anyone and anything that inspires you. It's not that these centers don't inspire you, but I was just blindly doing it, I think, as a thank you. Like, oh my God, thank you for listening to me. Yeah. So it was just from a different energy. You know what I'm saying? Where you come from your worth and your sense of power.
Okay.
Not from your like, oh, thank you for letting little old me, you know what I mean, do something.
Yeah, that's very different. Yeah, that's definitely very different.
So no starving artists or starving entrepreneurs, no starving. Thriving.
Okay. So you talked about working from your overflow. What does that mean?
Oh gosh, what it has meant to me, because that's really been the focus of my personal work that flows into the rest of my work, is really really focusing and putting all my energies on me. And I know that sounds that's so anti-me from years ago, from like, oh, I serve, I did it. But I'm really just getting that when I can care enough about how I feel first, that my work is more effective, my communication is more impactful, and my joy level is higher. I mean, everything is up-leveled when I can check in with me first before, before I do anything.
Right. Okay.
So from my overflow means that I got to make sure not only that I'm filled up, but that, that I'm in the highest spot that I can be in.
Okay.
And from there, the results, I think, for everyone, I mean, like the whole story has changed, not just mine.
Okay.
It's up-leveled.
So
Does that make sense?
Yeah, you feel like that makes your art better? Like it makes your art, I don't know, it improves what you can give.
It does. Okay. And I can't tell you what it is that changes, because I believe everything really is energetic and vibration. Okay. So, but I've been having crazy experiences. I mean, the craziest one that one or two that I can share with you. One is a women's conference that I did, and it was only 20 women, and I did a concert for them. And it was late at night. I ended on a high note, like this loud song, freedom.
Okay.
They're clapping. They're looking at me, but they're not stopping. They're not leaving. They're just smiling and clapping. I'm like, okay, let me bring you down. So I sing a mellow song. I sing Power of Now. Mellow.
Oh, I love Power of Now. It's one of my favorites.
So they're looking at me. They're looking, they're smiling. I'm like, okay, you're not done. Okay, I'll pray. So I'm tinkling and I'm praying. They could have sat, I think, all night. They were like in a trance.
Wow.
Okay, so I don't know. Like, I think when you tap into that, like your power, that overflow, I don't even know that we know what's possible of how amazing it can be. And another funny one that you'll crack up at is I was sitting, I think I was about to sing, and I was singing for a spiritual center, and I was having so much fun, like just sitting there, and I had just done a song. In my mind, I thought, they don't even have to pay me. Don't pay me. I love what I do. Like I was just deciding in my mind, and then I was like, oh no, wait, I can have total fun and they can pay me. So, I've just had these new, fresh moments of like, what was that?
Right.
So I'm like just excited for what I don't know, how it will keep unfolding the more I tune into like my vibes and my energy and my taking care of me first.
Oh, I love that. So when you take care of you, what does that look like for you? I know it looks different for everyone, but for you, like, what are some of the things that are involved in your self-care?
Okay. Well, I'm going to start here because I think it's the most important. Because obviously it would be like taking the time, and I think you'll appreciate this or not. As a mom, there was a time when I like didn't take time to like do my hair, brush my teeth. What is that?
Yeah.
Okay. So like basics, basic self-care. But then for me, the biggest was really the self-judgment part of like, you know what, for lunch, because I work at home. And so I think I had a lot of judgment of doing, especially when, with my son, I wasn't doing, I'd be on the beach somewhere just digging sand for an hour. And what came up for me was all the self-judgment. So I don't know that I could walk you through the whole process because it's an organic thing, but it was noticing that self-judgment, and it was like about changing my thoughts so I could, I don't know, they went away, and that I could be at peace. I could go and spend a day with my son and know that was enough. That there was nothing more I needed to do to be worthy of this day or something, or for money to come in, or so that. And then what other? It really is about the self-judgment and the time issue of honoring how do I feel right now, and what could I do to feel better right now. And I know that sounds so vague, but that is really
right.
Where I started. So
I think that's a great question to start with. Like, what can I do to feel better in this moment? What can I do to feel better right now?
Yeah, and I know sometimes we can't get around the time issue, because I was going to say, you know, I'm a real big believer now of not pressing myself through something just to get it done when I'm not in the zone. And then if I have to press myself because of the logistics, then I'm going to change my mind somehow and make this like a holy experience, or make it fun, or do something so I can be like, oh, okay. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I totally know what you're saying. Yeah.
And so I'm realizing I've been finding more and more the power to flick that switch of like, okay, I'm going to change the story right now so I can do this.
Okay, I love that. That's awesome.
But it's practice. It's practice all the time.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So, Faith, what is coming up next for you? What are you working on?
Well, you know, because I'm home more now and I don't tour as much, I am just so excited about the potential of doing the work that I do virtually, you know, globally and virtually, kind of what you're doing. Yeah. And so I've been doing an online concert every month, the last Tuesday of the month, for free on YouTube. It's for caregivers, you know, folks that might be stuck at home. I've been releasing a lot of music and lyric videos, and like I said, starting to do more coaching, you know, via Skype and all that. And I tell you, and I know you probably can attest to this, is the power of it is undeniable. Because I know there's some people that are like the virtual world, and I'm like, real insight, real connection, real love happens. I mean, I have felt it and I have seen it, and I am so just turned on. So I feel like I'm doing my best work yet. And, you know, I'll say here, I don't think I've ever said it out loud, but I'm going to soon live with Crazy Courage my teen dream of doing these music videos. I love singing and dancing, and, you know, with Glee and all that kind of stuff, and Bollywood stuff, and flash mobs. Why can't people, I hate saying our age, why can't people, whatever, like me, like whatever, do that? Yeah. So that's what I'm looking for next. And aside from that, I am, you know, in October, for those of you that might be in town in Santa Barbara, I'm the music director for the Awakened World Film Festival, which is going to be, 4 days of progressive films. And not only that, all of these leaders like Jack Canfield and Michael Beckwith are then going to take the films deeper in a workshop situation, And at night is going to be the gala event. So if anyone's interested in that, I'm going to be working on that soon. So, but more virtually, global, virtually, and deeper connection, better work.
That sounds great. That sounds awesome.
Thank you.
So if people want to know more about what you're doing and follow you, where can they go?
Well, definitely, you know, faithrivera.com is a great place to start, and I would love if they signed up for my e-news. If they want to know what I do, they'll receive 2 free song downloads, and I have a lot of videos on YouTube. You know, just look up Faith Rivera. I want people to use them, share them, and also on Facebook. If you're a Facebook person, you go to my musician page, because I'm kind of maxed out on my normal page, and I post all the time about, you know, crazy courage, silly fun, and, you know, mommy stuff. But I just do my best to, you know, inspire myself while I inspire others, and just share it, because it's contagious.
Yeah, it is contagious.
It's contagious.
Awesome. So I'll put a link to your website below, and definitely go to her website and sign up for that e-newsletter. Did you have any last thoughts on courage?
Well, okay, first I want to say that on October 11th, there is an event called Contagious Optimism. You can find out more about it on my website, but their hope is that it's going to be a TEDx that's going to go around the entire country. So I know you and your listeners would love it, because they want to hear all these stories of crazy courage. You know, but about courage, you know, I'm so grateful for this thing we call courage, you know, that has sometimes pushed me, you know, to cross the bridge from where I was to new possibilities. I mean, I wouldn't be where I am without that courage. And And I really, my dream and hope is that someday we can replace crazy courage with crazy joy. And and there have been, aspects in my life that I've done that, but can you imagine the difference of being pushed by courage, thank you, courage, but then being pulled by your joy and your vision. But you know what? I will say maybe courage is always needed because we're always expanding to the next level. So
Yeah.
Anyway,
Maybe it's a push-pull. You're pushed by courage, you're pulled by joy. Yeah, I love that, though.
Yeah. So thank you, crazy courage. Come on, crazy joy. Yeah.
Maybe that'll be the next one. Crazy joy.
Yeah, crazy joy.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Faith, for being here. That was amazing. You shared some great insight. So thank you.
You are welcome. Thank you for the work you're doing.
Thank you.